Welcome to Fuji Q, one of Japan's most underrated theme parks, known for three things: its intense roller coaster rides, its Naruto-themed section of the park, and being at the base of Mount Fuji, thus the name Fuji Q. I have come here today to experience the theme park, and I have brought some of my friends, meet the crew. This is the gang for today, and as most theme parks do, we start off with a nice trip through the gift shop. What else? So at many of theme parks like Disney, you get headbands, and they have it in Fuji Q too, but look how lame they are. They're so small.
Lame. You can't even see it.
Yeah. Are you gonna get them anyways?
I'm not gonna get them. I'm gonna get it for you.
Thank you. So you're buying it?
Yeah.
It's a lie. As soon as I cut it, he's gonna be like, no. So we haven't even bought our tickets yet, but don't worry, you can still access the gift shop without buying any tickets, along with this weird French Paris section that was here for some reason. I don't remember this being here before. But anyways, after you go through that, you arrive at the ticket station. And let me explain the tickets, because Fuji Q works a little differently from a traditional theme park. So you can either buy a day pass for 7,600 yen or about $50, and that gets you on every ride and attraction in the park, or you can actually pay $0 to get into the park and then pay separately per ride. The big rides themselves, like the big coasters, are about 2,000 yen a piece. They're like $13, so you really only need to do about 4 rides to make the day pass ticket worth it. But it's up to you. If you have someone who doesn't really love roller coasters, they can just join you for free and pay for the rides they want to pay for. It's kind of a nice compromise. But anyways, onto our first big roller coaster. We rush straight here, Age Naika. First ride, Age Naika, 70-minute wait. This is one of the really intense ones. The lady just said it and it has the most spins in the world. I have no idea if that's true or not. I'll count them on the ride. As I mentioned before, Fuji Q is known for its really, really intense roller coasters, and this one boasted 14 inversions, which apparently was the world record for the most number of inversions on a roller coaster. And the cool thing about this ride is actually its chair. So you're sitting in these seats here, and when you're actually going through the ride, you have your stomach kind of face down. So you're almost flying like Superman style through the ride. So it's a really fun experience. So I know I said Fuji Q is known for 3 things, but it's really known for 4 things, and that 4th thing is really long wait times. On average, each of the big roller coasters usually have a 2-hour wait time, and I have actually been to Fuji Q before, and that was my experience. So 70 minutes for this ride did not seem bad, and actually it wasn't even 70 minutes. We only waited about 45 minutes, and that's a typical theme we saw all throughout today. Like, the wait times really weren't that bad. Here we are in line, passing the time, playing a fun game of heads up, where they give me clues and I try to guess the clues. I don't know I forgot it.
That is not the song.
Yes, it is! So after a 45-minute wait, we put our stuff in lockers and we load up onto the ride. Now, obviously, I can't take my camera on the ride as much as I would have loved to, so here's a reenactment of me riding the ride. Wah! That was pretty good, huh? Anyways, this is honestly one of my favorite rides in the park. It's crazy. 14 inversions later, and this is the perfectly styled hair. Perfectly styled.
Oh, I'm good.
What do you think, Nico? Your first time riding it?
That was probably the coolest thing I've ever been on. It's up there. It's a top 10.
Yeah,
I've gone on I've been
the whole line. They tell you, hey, this ride has like 14 inversions, and then Nico was like, why did it spin?
I thought you said, why did it spin? I said, I don't know what inversion means.
14 inversions. I would say Fuji Q has 4 really intense extreme roller coasters, 3 of which were open today, and we rode all 3. But they also have a bunch of smaller, more fun, relaxing, watery, kid-friendly rides of different varieties. And this next one we're about to go on, I had never done before, but it piqued our interest. We just walked by it. We had no idea what it was. It was just this really random, weird building, and we walked inside these creepy corridors, and we're kind of like, what is this? As we're like standing in line, none of us have any idea. It's just billed as this like impossible challenge, which 0 out of over 300,000 people have attempted but not completed. But look, you can sit on this magical throne if you succeed in our challenges. And then some guy comes out and he starts playing this game, and we can all watch him in line, and everyone's watching him. And apparently this is stage 3 of this challenge. So in a very Squid-esque type game, there's different levels that you go through. And if you pass each level, you get to move on until you pass all 5 stages. It's all curated by this weird Phantom of the Opera wannabe guy here who comes on to tell us while we're waiting in line about, trying to complete these levels and challenges. So we're about to enter the first stage. Ooh. How the first two stages worked, and also where like 99% of the players were eliminated, except for those ones we saw out in the queue line, was that we were put into teams of 3 and unleashed into this maze where we had to play puzzle games in order to gain enough points. And if you gained enough points, you got to move on to the next stage. My group passed stage 1, but just barely failed to get enough points for stage 2. So sad. Stage 3 would have been where we were shoved out into the queue and we would have had to perform in front of people to do the games we saw other people doing while we were waiting in line. But overall, this was actually one of our favorite things to do in the park. It was super fun, a mashup of like Squid Games and also puzzle phone games, and there's a team element, there's a bit of an escape room element to it too. Super fun. We all wanted to like replay this, but we had to move on to other things in the park. But yeah, this was totally unexpected and a really cool thing that they have here at Fuji Q. That's overlooked a lot, so highly recommend. And then after all that brain power we didn't use, we decided it was time for a snack. So they had a lot of snack options here, and a lot of them are very Asian Japanese. So you'll find things like takoyaki instead of like hot dogs. Although they do have hot dogs, they're just called American dogu here instead.
Check this out. It's a giant piece of chicken. It's not discernible at all, but it's a giant piece of chicken, garlic flavored. It's very good. And my strategy for having a good time waiting in line is food and a drink. So we're gonna go ride another ride with a snack.
So next up is the roller coaster Fujiyama, and this is kind of the namesake roller coaster of the park. I mean, Yama literally just means mountain, so the ride is just kind of called Fuji Mountain, and it makes sense because at the very top you have a beautiful view of Mount Fuji, you know, when the sky doesn't look this cloudy and stuff. But this roller coaster, when it was opened in 1996, had the world records of being the tallest roller coaster and being the fastest roller coaster. I mean, they still have these name plaques despite it not having that record for at least 20 years. I guess they don't really update those or take them down. But it also has its own awesome theme song. Check it out. Also, once again, the wait time was posted at 50 minutes, but it only took us about 30 to get through this entire line. So honestly, the wait time's consistently short today.
So the good news is it was supposed to rain today, which is good. No, interrupting roller coaster, which I think is why it's not that crowded today. Everyone thought it was gonna rain this weekend, but it didn't. But now I need sunscreen because I get burned, as many of you guys know. So we're gonna wait in this line. I'm gonna try not to get burned by putting on sunscreen. That's the goal here. Alvin got us ice cream for the line. I'm not. None for Nico.
30 quick minutes later, we are at the front, and they always do a little security scan on you here, metal detector. Not so much to see if you're smuggling any bombs, but to make sure you don't have any keys or coins in your pocket that could become raining metal spears of death, you know, at those high speeds. Anyways, this ride is actually really long and pulls some serious G's too, 3.5 G's, but super, super fun as well.
Check. It's pretty good. Nico, your hair is still... Look, I braided Nico's hair. I think it's holding up pretty well, though. Yeah. Pretty.
She's saying,
come on, turn around. Turn around. Pretty good. Stayed pretty well.
Looks good. And I think it goes without saying, of course, there is a gift shop at the end of the ride that you must go through, complete with Mount Fuji roller coaster merch and other headbands. But I know what you're thinking, Alyssa, I don't care about roller coasters. I just am here to see the Naruto village. When are we going to get to that? Well, don't you worry, because we are headed there right now. And for those of you who don't care about Naruto, well, I don't know, keep watching, please. Here we are.
So one of the things Fuji Q also has, which is kind of random, but I guess not that random because we're in Japan, is that they have the Hidden Leaf Village from the show Naruto. So they have a little theme section of the park where you can come and meet all of your favorites. This is my favorite, Kakashi Sensei. He loves to read, something I really appreciate about his character, you know, really intelligent men always read. This is my boy Shikamaru. He plays Soji, which have never played, but I'd probably be pretty good if I tried it. Alvin, what is your knowledge of Naruto?
I know they are ninjas, and they're from a manga series.
Oh, very good.
And
7 out of 10 knowledge.
Thank you.
Nico, what is your knowledge?
They are ninjas who live in something called the Leaf Village.
Hidden Leaf Village.
And there's a nine-tailed fox is involved.
Oh, that's good.
Naruto has a crush on Sakura, but Sakura likes Sasuke. There's this blind chick that likes...
Blind chick?
Can she see?
Oh, Hinata. She doesn't have her pupils in, though. She's not blind. She has to use the Bakugan, which is stronger.
I should look like that.
Rock Lee is the best character.
Okay. Sums it up nicely.
Now that I knew that I had assembled a group of only the most diehard Naruto fans, it was time to ride the area's signature attraction, which was a 3D shooter game. Here I am, very cute with my 3D shooter glasses, and yeah, there was a score element to this, and you know, I don't want to say like who won or not, but I would just like to point out that I had to film and I was distracted by other things while playing this game, and had that not been the case, the end result might have been, probably would have been, I can say with, you know, 100% certainty, would have been different. But besides that, it was a super fun. It was actually a Boruto Naruto collab. We're gonna look past the Boruto element of it though, and just focus on the Naruto element of it. Yeah, don't pay attention to the score here. Don't do that. Anyways, here's the gift shop. Of course, they had a gift shop. This was the only gift shop I was actually kind of tempted to buy things in, but I resisted the overmarked prices. And of course, these things are readily available in Amazon's and Crane Games near you if you live in Tokyo. Time for snack break number 2. I got a traditional amusement park classic. Of course, I'm talking about takoyaki, octopus balls. They were very delicious. I mean, they were fine. And then I also got a grapefruit sangria, which was very delicious.
We are tired. It's been a minute. There's one more big ride that we're going to try to do, and it's probably one of the most serious coasters in the park, and then we'll be done. Our original group had 6 people, but on this last ride, we've had several dropouts. We are down to only 3. They come with us.
Just off camera, there's a dropout.
Yeah, off camera, there's a dropout. He's giving me a dirty look right now.
He's ashamed, as he should be.
So the last big ride of the day is called Takabisha, and it actually is so scary and has so many dropouts. They literally have signs where you can pose in front of it saying, like this sign says, "I don't have any courage," basically to go on the ride. So it's a great way to make fun of your coward friends who are too scared to go on it. The wait time for this is posted at 30 minutes, but honestly, this line was so empty. The whole day I've been so surprised how empty the park has been. We haven't waited longer than like 45-50 minutes for any ride, and this one in particular, I think we only ended up waiting about 20 minutes total. This ride also has a world record. It has a world record for the steepest drop at 121 degrees. So that's kind of Fuji Q's thing. Like most of the rides they have world records, even if that record, you know, was established in 1996 and got broken in 1997. I'm looking at you, Fujiyama. But anyways, this one still holds the record for the steepest drop and is super fun. It has a couple surprises on the ride. I don't want to like spoil it for you or anything, but also a highly recommend. Was super fun, and it's honestly it's not really that scary at all.
So it's nighttime. We did the Naruto Park, and we noticed that there's like 30 minutes till the park's closing, and because it's so empty, look, there's no one. An hour till the park's closing. No one's here. We're gonna try to run on some of the like more crazy coasters again because they have really short lines, which is insane for Fuji Q. So we're going back to Eijinaika, the first ride we did.
So yeah, we headed back over to the first ride we did, which honestly, the park is not that big. You can walk across the whole thing in about 20 minutes. And we walked literally on that ride. We waited maybe 5 to 10 minutes, which is insane for how long these lines usually are. We realized we even had so much time, we could ride Fujiyama again. So we headed back over to Fujiyama.
I gave up on the bangs. We're rocking the side pony now. For the last ride of the night, we sprinted over with a couple minutes left before they close this ride to ride the Fujiyama ride. Uno mas.
Look at how majestic Fujiyama looks at night. We only waited 5 minutes for it. So at the end of the day, we got 6 different rides on the big roller coasters, plus a bunch of smaller rides and the walk-through house. This is not the typical Fuji Q experience. The last time I was here, we waited 2 hours minimum for each ride, and we only rode like 2. I think it was calling for rain this entire weekend and it just didn't rain, so I think that kept the crowds away. But this is not the typical Fuji Q experience, but still, I highly recommend the park.
Okay, and that's our day. We're now heading home. We stayed here. We got here at 12 noon, and then we were done filming. It's gonna interrupt me. I'm trying to film an outro, and this is about take 17. Because
said you were done filming.
They don't know
She
how.
said she was really done.
None of them. This is why I don't bring you guys in videos. Okay.
The whole time.
Okay, we're done. We had a great time. Thank you both for joining me so
We
much.
had a great day. Bye.
Okay, that's the outro.